Hang on,
Did you vote
Cornell,
for
hang
Joe
on.
Biden?
Hang on, guys. I'm going to Harry. Harry, there's going to be an executive
I
order.
voted for myself.
Cornell?
Piers Morgan is on a mission. He's on a mission and he's going to get hairy. It's going to get nasty, guys.
Time out. I'm going to Harry for a question.
Okay.
Here's my question for Harry. There's going to be up to 200 executive orders unleashed, right? Many have already been signaled. Many have already been announced. Some were in the speech, some afterwards. We know what a lot of these things are going to be, Harry. I'm just curious, genuinely curious, which ones you have a big problem with, right? For example, would you contest the fact there is a crisis on the southern border?
No, I definitely think that there's a problem at the border, but it's just interesting.
At least he agrees with that.
That Donald Trump is declaring a national emergency on this, given the fact that the numbers right now at the border are similar or even lower than they were under Donald Trump.
Well, the reason he's
false. A lot of foreigners are coming into our country because of Biden. A lot of them.
That is because nearly 10 million. Well, hang on, Harry. The reason is that nearly 10 million illegal immigrants got into America on the southern border in the last 4 years.
And those last 4 years is because of Joe Biden.
No. Actually, that's not true. The majority of people
It is true.
come in recent years have come in through asylum, meaning that they are illegal. This guy, you can keep saying yes, it is all you want. You just don't know what you're talking about. The majority of people have come in through asylum, meaning that
Harry, we know what we're talking about, buddy. We're not dumb.
they're legal immigrants.
So how many illegal immigrants came in?
System?
Can you just special numbers that you find in some special place?
Can you just
out of
be
your
quiet?
ass? Where? How many?
Just stop talking. Just stop. Nobody needs to hear you
I want to
speak
know
right
how
now.
many you
The
think
overwhelming
came in
majority of people
illegally.
come in through asylum. Now, Joe Biden tried to
How many
rewrite the
came in
asylum
illegally?
laws to make
What
it
is your
harder
number?
for people to claim asylum
You don't know.
improperly, and
You guys
Republicans
make it
like
up.
Donald Trump blocked the bill. So it's fascinating to me that this is Donald Trump's day one executive order, and it's also for this Ferguson
It's
guy
not
over here.
his.
He's
The
saying,
American people
can you be
voted
quiet
for
for
it.
5 seconds? By
Can
any
you just
chance? Can
agree
you be
with
quiet
me,
for 5
Harry?
seconds?
Harry, to be
Hold on,
fair,
hold on.
Harry, to be
May I
just to
finish?
remind
Everybody else is
you,
given the opportunity
just
to
to
finish.
remind you, the first thing you did was agree with me. There's a crisis on the southern border. So why wouldn't you agree that there should be an emergency order?
Well, I'm just curious as to where the emergency is. I think there's a crisis of the law. The law is lacking. I would like to see Donald Trump actually try to rewrite the asylum
All right,
laws.
so you think
not
there's a
declare an
crisis,
emergency.
but you shouldn't
But
do
hold
anything about it. All right.
Piers Morgan got him. This is President Trump's day one executive orders and pardons that he's doing.
Do you think the cartel gangs should be designated terrorist groups? Yes or no?
Sure, no problem.
No problem with that. Great. Okay.
Wait,
do you
can
think?
100%, man. 100% agreeing with Piers.
Can I take?
No,
can I
hang
say
on.
something
Do you
in
think
regards to-
America has? Do you think there should be more than 2 genders in America?
Yeah, I don't know what that executive order means. I don't know what the president declared.
It means
You know what it means, buddy. Male or female, and that's it.
2 genders, male and female. Do you disagree with that?
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
Come
look,
on,
look,
little
these
guy.
guys
How
don't
many
know what-
genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able
Harry,
to answer.
how many genders are there?
How many genders are there,
How
Harry?
many genders are there?
What's the leak? I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least 2. At least 2. That satisfies.
Well, how
the
many
little brains
more
you guys
other than
got going
male,
up in there.
female?
That's a TikTok answer.
No, there's at least 2.
Yeah.
There's at least 2.
Well, no, hang on. There's male and
Kid
female.
is like human brain
Donald
rot.
Trump says there's male and female. There are 2.
Okay, Dave,
How many
Russian Rubin,
more
come
are
on
there
now.
after male and female, Harry?
There's at least 2. Now, anyway, let me get back to
What
what I
do
was
you
saying.
at
How
least
many
2?
more are there?
What are the other ones?
There's at least 2.
What are
There's
the
at
other
least
ones?
2.
Harry, let's
with
try
this
it this way.
executive order,
You're a
what's the legal
female. What is the
It's so-
other
It's so
gender?
funny. It's so funny how
They are clowning Harry. They literally just called Buddy a female.
it's so funny how these conservatives just get time to lie on this show, but when I'm speaking, they all
We
interrupt
asked a
and there's no
damn
problem.
question.
You've just been asked a very
And
simple
I'm trying to
question,
have a
Harry.
conversation with
How many
Piers, not you,
genders there
Mr.
are?
Combe-over. Relax for me.
Harry,
Take a
you
breather.
simply
Thank
got
you so
asked
much.
if there are at least 2 genders, how many more
Wait,
are
Piers,
there than
Piers.
male and female?
Piers, you asked me about Donald Trump's executive order. I'm trying to explain how legally it makes absolutely no sense and it's going to get sued in court. Then we go into culture wars with Dave Rubin and this Ferguson guy asking how many genders are there.
No,
I'm trying
I'm
to answer your
asking you.
question. They're screaming their faces off
I'm
about issues that
asking
don't
you.
fucking matter.
I'm
Harry,
asking
nobody-
you.
Oh God, this
And
child.
Piers, I've
I'm
given
asking you, Harry,
Piers,
how many
and
genders
I'm
are
answering
there?
your question.
Harry,
Piers, I've answered your question.
Harry, how
There
many
are at
genders are
least
there?
2. There are at least 2.
2 or at least
Are
2?
there 100?
Hang
Are
on,
there
Ben.
100?
Hang on, Ben. I've got
More
this.
or less than 100?
Can I answer the question?
Yes,
for
Cornell.
Brother Harry?
Answer the question.
Four?
Can I answer the question
Yes.
for Brother Harry? Because
7?
Brother Harry trying
Yes,
to hold
help
on.
him out, Cornell.
That according to Shakespeare, all of us are androgynous. There are men and there are women. There are different sides of human beings, all made in the image of a God that has a dignity and a sanctity. And if you're going to try to start demonizing precious trans folk,
throw that hat on, boy.
then I'm going to be fighting. But it's not. But
okay, Corn, I agree with them. I agree with them. I agree. Don't demonize trans folks. This is all the left has left. It's really
extraordinary. I've got to say, the torturous answers.
No, that's not all the left has left. We got a whole lot
when you're reduced to quoting Shakespeare, Cornell, when you're reduced to quoting Shakespeare,
he has all the hat collections. Look at him.
Gender. But it's going to be humanistic across the board.
Look at this cult member out there with so many MAGA hats. Off your head, buddy. It's weird.
I'm just showing why we won, bro.
Nobody's demonizing the weak. I'm for girls playing girls and
winning at the moment doesn't mean that you're right, brother. Just because you won at the moment doesn't.
Do you guys think it's okay for, let's say, if you have a kid and that kid is a girl and she plays for a soccer team and they're in the locker room and there's a boy that considers herself as a girl. Do you guys think it's okay for them to be in the same locker room? Obviously not. Because there's only two genders, male and female, guys.
And that you're right.
Are in college
you know
sports.
That? You know that from history.
Hey, Dave Rubin, how many trans athletes are in college sports? Does anybody know?
If there's one biological male beating a girl in a sport, it's one too many.
This guy has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Now, can we get back to the executive orders I disagree with by any chance?
Yeah, sure. But what about that one, about the two genders?
Yeah.
I can't work out.
Two genders. Let's go back to that.
Well, hang on. I can't work out whether you agree or disagree. Donald Trump says specifically, Harry, there are two genders, male and female. That's it. You think there are at least two, which normally means there are more than two. So what are the others?
Interpret as you will, but I think that executive order is stupid.
Tell me.
Yeah, buddy.
I've given you my answer.
Tell us.
What are the others?
You can interpret that as you will.
What are the other genders?
You guys can run wild with interpretations.
They are all throwing shots at Harry. All of them.
I'm telling you my answer is at least two. Now, on the legitimacy of the executive order, it makes no sense. What's the legal mechanism for enforcement?
Harry,
that's what I'm asking.
This is why I hate TikTok babies.
Harry, when you say there are at least two genders...
Be quiet. Ted Cruz's buddy over here with the code member needs to be quiet.
It's Piers talking to you.
I
simply want to know, Harry... You said you wanted to go back to the list of executive orders, whether you agreed or not. You say there are...
my answer, Piers. My answer doesn't change.
No, but your answer doesn't make any sense. What do you mean?
It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Piers, you can think my answer doesn't make any sense. You're going to ask me the question again. We're going to go back and forth.
No,
I'd like you to explain
what you mean.
It makes no sense.
No,
this executive order is
I'm asking
nonsense.
you what you mean by at least two genders.
I'm saying at least two.
What does that mean?
At least there are. What do you? What's the? I'm not sure what you're confused about.
Does that mean there are more than two, or there are two?
There's at a minimum two.
This is exactly why the Democrats these issues got themselves into so much difficulty.
You guys are such.
Thank you, Piers.
They literally cannot explain what they're talking about.
Trump is a convicted felon. Don't talk to
Piers.
All right, don't all shout. I want Dave Rubin to respond. Dave Rubin, this to me is exactly why the Democrats lost the plot. They can't even explain what they mean when they say this crap.
Look, Harry perfectly exemplifies everything wrong with the modern left and the Democrat Party. He can't tell you how many genders there are, and then all he can do is hurl insults.
Shots fired.
That's exactly what the Democrats and the media machine has done. You are a child.
Is the hypocrisy not astounding?
How old are you, 12?
Is the hypocrisy not astounding? Do you feel no shame when you say something like that? Is the hypocrisy not absolutely astounding, Dave?
Be quiet. Get a job, kid. Listen, this is exactly this smug, nonsensical drivel is what everyone hates.
Look, is astounding.
Piers, if you may remember, what was it, a few months ago, I think it was a day before Joe Biden stepped down when Harry and I were on the panel, and he was saying how brilliantly sharp and never sharper oh my God, his brain is so great. Joe Biden is the best. And then the next day he gets the talking points from the DNC.
In all fairness.
And he's yes, they pay these people. It's as simple as that. That's why you can't tell you how many genders
Russia pays conservative commentators.
All right, let me ask Cornell. I want to bring Cornell back. I want to bring Cornell back. I want to bring Cornell back.
Company funneled right through.
I want to bring Cornell back. Cornell, this whole idea of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Trump is on the rampage about this. And I sort of feel he's right. I feel like it went way too far to the extent that mediocrity started to be pushed forward above meritocracy. Do you agree with that?
Well, you see, I was never one to be obsessed with DEI. The spirit of Martin Luther King Jr., which is not being manifested in our conversation, which is one of openness, sensitivity, recognizing people can agree and agree to disagree, and recognizing all of us are cracked vessels. And DEI began because of the vicious legacy of white supremacy in America, where you had 100 years of black people enslaved and another 100 years of Jim and Jane Crow. Now, does everybody on this screen agree that slavery and Jim Crow are evil?
Yes.
Can we get an agreement on that?
Of course, but America was not a white supremacist nation.
So we had to
They're not using
respond, and we had to do something about it. We had to do something about it. What that meant was there was already some mediocrity in the system before the black folk and brown folk and others came in. It's called white male mediocrity. That had been part and parcel. There was white male excellence too. There was white male mediocrity. And the question became broadening the pool to make sure you had
He's cooking it up.
merit and those who deserved access.
But
What
Cornell,
happened when you talk
here's
about
a
the
question
social
for you
You don't
engineering?
about
solve
Martin
I can
Luther
former
resonate with that.
discrimination
I can
with
resonate.
present
Cornell,
discrimination.
I'm not a social
Hold on, I wanna ask
engineer.
this important.
I don't.
Cornell,
I want
I-
fairness.
All right, don't
I want
talk over each
fairness
other.
across the board.
Okay,
I don't want
let-
rhetoric.
Cornell,
I
I have
want
a question.
fairness across the board.
Let me bring in Ben. Because
Cornell,
my question, I mean, I don't
sincere
dispute
question for you,
I
Cornell,
don't
and
dispute a
that's
lot of
this.
what Cornell just said, Ben, other than it wasn't
but
really.
let me say this.
Well, hang on.
Martin
Let me just
Luther
make the point.
King-
I want to make the point. It wasn't really the answer to my question, which was, has the pendulum of DEI swung too far, where actually the same problem that Cornell identified rightly about what was going on in the slavery years, completely right to say that, but has it gone too far now as a corrective tool where actually mediocrity has surpassed meritocracy? And who does that help when that happens? I think nobody.
I would say, based on what we just saw out of the Biden administration in leadership, the answer is yes. But I go back to Martin Luther King's dream. If you look at Martin Luther King's dream, his dream was not to have people succeed or fail based on the color of their skin. It was to choose the best regardless of their skin color. And that was the dream he talked about that people seem to have forgotten. It was a dream he talked about in Memphis, my hometown, the day he was assassinated. He talked about the day before. And what his dream was not to have a pie that is, okay, how many transgender people do we have in the pie, or gay, or lesbian, or black, or white, or Hispanic, and have a kumbaya pie. His goal was that you never judge someone based on the color of their skin.
Exactly. You cannot judge people based on the color of their skin. I see this so many times in person. It's because they're either brown, dark skin, light skin, whatever skin tone. I see this so much. You should never judge a book by its cover. Never.
His goal was to say the best should lead. The best should succeed. It should be merit-based. It should not be based on if you're black, white, Hispanic, gay, lesbian. I don't even think he could have imagined a
I don't think he could even imagine that back in the day.
transgenderism the way we have it now. And that is what you're missing here, is that what Donald Trump is saying is, give me the best and the brightest. Don't give me some kumbaya pie that is a mandate for 17 transgendered and 17 gay and 17 straight and 17 black and 17 white and make up 100 people. He's saying, give me the best and the brightest regardless of any of that. That was Martin Luther King's dream.
Yep, it sure was, guys. Thank you guys for watching.